guys, my name is Faith, and today I'm going to be posting my first official video. I think I actually have a video that I posted on here a couple years ago, but this is going to be my first, genuine attempt at posting a video, and it's going to be about my blackout bag and what I have in my blackout bag and why I have a blackout bag. And hopefully it just gives you inspiration for what to have handy. My dog is pouting. What to have handy in your house in the event that your power goes out. Just some tools, things to have handy, whether your power goes out in the winter, power goes out in the summer, and how to keep it conveniently packed away so that you're not searching all over the house for it. Hi guys. So obviously I didn't come back yesterday. It is today. And I was supposed to have done this yesterday, but things happen. And this is the first time that I'm doing a video like this. So I'm very much so out of my comfort zone. And yesterday I tried to record this video 5 times, no exaggeration, 5 times. Finally got it. And then I watched it, my husband watched it, and he made a really good observation that I go through everything, but I don't really provide any sources about where I found anything, how much anything cost, nothing that was actually helpful. So today, I'm going to try to do it a little bit differently. I just want to say I'm not a professional, okay? These are things that I have purchased and accumulated because I know that if there are any issues, I know how to operate this stuff. I know what it's for. But my husband is so smart that, I mean, he could go into all the nitty-gritty detail, and I'm not there yet. So having said that, I'm going to go over what I have in my blackout bag. The reason why I have a blackout bag is because for a long time, I lived by myself. I lived alone. I moved from Los Angeles County, California to Lake Ozarks, Missouri, or Lake of the Ozarks, Missouri. Talk about a culture shock. Okay. The first 3 months that I was out here, we had ice. And I remember where I was working when someone came in and said, "Oh, it's sleeting outside." I had never heard that term. I was like, sleeting? What is sleeting? And they looked at me like I was dumb. And they were like, ice? And of course, I was even more perplexed because I'm like, what do you mean ice? And I went outside and sure enough, the ground had ice on it. And that blew my mind because growing up in Los Angeles, if that's where you're from or you know anything about it, which most people do, it doesn't really rain, let alone snow, let alone have ice that falls from the sky. So it was all a new development to me. It was very scary because the mall that I was working at, they wouldn't salt anything. So every day that I would get off work, it was literally like driving in an ice skating rink. Okay, it was dangerous. So I pretty much lived at the hotel that was up on the hill because I couldn't get home. I lived 45 minutes away. There's no way this girl's going to drive 45 minutes on ice home. I ain't going to make it. It's wild. Oh God. Anyway, so the reason why I have a blackout bag is because when that happens and we get ice, people's power goes out just completely. There was a town called Eldon, and it was some time ago. I don't know exactly when it was. I know that it was more than 10 years ago, but I believe it was less than 20 years ago. Anyways, this storm is still referenced today by people in this area because they had a storm in the wintertime and it took a whole bunch of houses out. No electricity at all whatsoever. And the part that gets me is it wasn't like they didn't have power for a couple of hours or a couple of days. They didn't have power for weeks. Let that sink in. If you live in California, Nevada, whatever, and your power goes out because there's an ice storm outside, the level of inconvenience, and that's really what it is inconvenience, goes through the roof because now it's winter. You have no electricity. And unless you have like a wood burning stove or a fireplace, you have no way to heat your home. Anyway, I digress. So I thought to myself, because I lived alone, I don't have family out here, I needed to figure out how I could take care of myself the best way that I know or knew how to. And this was one of the ways that I had decided that I was going to make sure that I was taken care of in the event that something like that happened. Praise God, I never had to use this bag for that reason. But if it ever did happen, I was going to be kind of okay. Okay. It was going to be uncomfortable and it's going to be super inconvenient, but I pretty much had what I needed in one little area. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with what I have. And the first thing that I am going to show you is going to actually be the bag that I have it in. So this is the bag that I chose to house all the items. You don't have to put it into a backpack. You do not have to put it into a duffel bag. You could put it in a storage container. I don't have a garage. I don't have a lot of storage. So to put it into a huge storage box for me just isn't feasible because I don't have anywhere to really put it. So I figured a backpack would work well, and then I could hang it on the inside of a closet somewhere. Right now it hangs off the doorknob in one of the storage rooms that I have, and I know exactly where it is. If the lights are out, I mean, I'm likely going to see it because it's bright orange, but anyway, so this is the bag. And it's a cute bag. It was, cute. This is a Ridge Hunter backpack that I purchased from Bass Pro. And I think the only reason why I purchased this backpack is because it was $12.99. And I do not like spending money. So $12.99 sounded pretty good, especially at Bass Pro. If you've ever been to a Bass Pro, it is very easy to spend just a boatload of money. And the stuff that they have there is great. It's excellent quality. You do get what you pay for. Okay. Cheap is not always the best route. But when it came to the backpack, it was a good solid backpack. Worked for me. I don't care. I move on with my life. The second thing that I'm going to show you, it actually isn't part of my Blackout bag, but I do have it on the bookshelf next to the entrance. And the reason why is because where I live, my dog has a separate pen like 30 feet away from the house. So we don't have a backyard where it's fenced in and he can go back there and I can open the door, call him in. We have to physically go outside, undo his whole fence thing, and bring him back inside. So we have two different lighting sources that we take out there when we go. And one of them is a Christmas gift that I purchased my husband last year. And it is this guy right here. Again, it's not in my Blackout bag. It's in the bookshelf next to the entrance. But it is battery. It's got a battery pack. It's waterproof. It's adjustable. It has 5 modes for the lighting, and it's pretty bright. You can find it on Amazon for, I have to check my notes. Okay, it's a LED rechargeable headlamp, 90,000 high lumen. So it's bright. when it's fully charged, or if it has fresh batteries in it, I mean, there is nothing that can't be seen with this thing. It is wild. And it hasn't really, ooh, sorry. It hasn't been charged in a while, so it's not as bright as what it could be. But this is amazing. And my husband loves it. He's such a nice man. He gets the dog for me like almost every night. And this is what he takes out there with him to go get it, to go get the dog. So, but it has, I don't know. I can't explain it much more than I already have. So, anyhow, this guy, it's awesome. He absolutely loves it. We do use it on the daily, so we know where it is. And that's one of the biggest parts about the whole thing, you guys. You don't even have to have a bag as long as you know where your stuff is at. If you don't know where your stuff is and all of a sudden it's April and there's a raging thunderstorm outside and you lose electricity and it's 8 o'clock at nighttime, you can't see diddly squat and your phone's not charged all the way, so it's not going to go off in the morning for you to wake up to go to work or take the kids to school. You can't cook anything now. You need to have something to assist you. Yeah. Anyway. Okay. So the next thing would be, and this video is really intended for women my age or a little bit younger. This is all stuff that I have done and did do when I was single, when I lived by myself, because I don't have a dad that I can just call up and ask questions to or get advice from or anything like that. So everything that I've learned, everything that I've accumulated has all been from having to figure this information out. Same thing with, I don't have a mom that I can call and ask questions to, none of that. So when I'm showing this stuff to a lot of people, this is going to be like ridiculous because it's common sense stuff for a lot of people. But for a lot of people, this isn't even something that they've considered. And those are the people that I'm talking to, or the people that haven't considered it. They don't have anybody, encouraging them to do something that their future self could potentially be like, thanks. So that's who this video is for. If you are seasoned and you have all the stuff, you have backup generators, you have a wood burning stove, obviously this video, I'm not trying to teach you anything or show you anything that you don't already know. But what you could do is if you could leave a comment down below with some of your suggestions on what you do, what you have done, maybe what you've done for your kids, so that other people can learn from that. And we can just keep making improvements. I think that's the biggest thing, is just learning and developing. And so if you know you're watching this and you're like, oh my gosh, this is the most simple stuff, please share your wisdom, share your insight. I would love to read it. And I know that other people would really enjoy to read it as well. So anyway, moving on. This is a FOS power. I got this off of Amazon as well. And if you were to look it up, it is FOS power, Noaa emergency radio. And it is not Noah, Noah. It is Noaa. It is model 1A, and it is a portable power bank that is solar rechargeable, and it also has a hand crank. And this right here, to be honest with you, is the whole reason why I purchased this radio, was for the hand crank. Because if the electricity goes out I don't want to have a whole bunch of stuff that I needed to have charged or put batteries into, because I know my luck. And with my luck, it's going to be a night that my husband isn't home. Nothing is charged. I don't know. I don't have any batteries. And that's when the electricity is going to go out and I'm in shambles. That's why I put this bag together. So we don't have a faith in shambles. Okay. But it also, you could use batteries in it. This does have batteries in it. It has an SOS alarm, which I thought was interesting, but it could come in handy. It's on the bottom of the radio. So here's your radio. Flip it under, and it's that. That does no one any good. Okay, anyway. So I'm going to turn it on. I'm just going to let you know right now. It is very loud, so keep that in mind, and it's going to flash red. Okay, so if you can't handle it, fast forward. I can only imagine that if there was something that happened where we lost electricity and we had to evacuate, I don't know what that would be, but if we had to evacuate, this would come in handy if I had it on me and say I fell. You know, where I live in rural Lake of the Ozarks, Missouri. So everywhere you go is almost a 2-lane highway. And so you can really fall off a cliff or fall into a ditch at any point. It's not like being back in Los Angeles where you have lanes and lanes and lanes of traffic. It's you and another person coming this way. So I love it. I wouldn't change it for the world. But it is different. And so that's just what I would imagine. I'm sure it's for something different, but that's what I would use it for. It has an antenna. When I was in high school, there was a guy who would make fun of me because when I said antenna, I would say antenna. And ever since then, I have to think about the word and say it properly because I know I sound dumb. And he made fun of me my entire senior year because I would say antenna. So the antenna, anyway. Solar power charge right here on the reverse side. If you flip it up, it's an LED light. And if the power is out, I want all the lights. I want them all. All the lights, give them to me, okay? Because I'm going to want every nook and cranny lit up. Not that we should, really, because you want to conserve as much energy as you can. But almost everything that I have is a light source of some kind. But anyway, it also has a flashlight on it. You have your flashlight button here, and then there's your flashlight. It's an okay flashlight. It's nothing to write home about. We have better flashlights. So that's that guy. Ooh. It is, I think, $31.99 on Amazon right now. When I looked it up, $31.99. But you want to know what's funny? Is I paid more for it like 6 months ago. I paid $33.99. Yeah. Okay. I think I'll save that one till later. Okay. So I have 2 lanterns that I have. These guys right here. This one, I searched for it. I know that I purchased it from Menards, and I tried to find it on their website, and I was unsuccessful. So I don't know if they're not making it anymore or if I'm blind as a bat and just didn't see it. But it's a Lysol, and you can hook it to a backpack. You can hook it to your belt loop. It's super lightweight, and you can put your, I believe it's AA batteries. Yeah, 3 AA batteries right in there. But you can also charge it, and that's what I have it on right now. Is it was charged, believe it or not, this was charged probably 9 months ago, 10 months ago, and check this out. And that is that from a charge from 10 months ago. Okay, this is bright. This is an alternate, and there's 3 different settings. When I have to go get Memphis at nighttime, if this guy hasn't been charged, or if our other flashlight hasn't been charged, I take one of my lanterns with me. This one lights things up like crazy. I love this one. It's obviously not a direct light, but it illuminates everything around you. So I really enjoy this one. I actually use it quite often, and there's where you would there is where you would plug in your USB to charge it. Anyway, this is just a cool, nifty device. Oh, God. And if something were to happen, you didn't have to evacuate. You just put this on a table in the middle of the room that you and your family are going to be in, and walk away. Let it light up the room. This one right here is also a Guidesman. This one we also got from Menards, and handle. This one does have batteries in it, 3 AA batteries. That one's pretty bright too. I still favor this one more, but this one's got a pretty gnarly light on it. But my favorite setting, if you want some ambiance during a power outage or whatever. Isn't that awesome? It's a faux flame. I didn't even know that it did that until recently. It was recently. Anyway, Menards, I think it was like where is it at? $6.22 on menards.com, and worth every penny. I've used this one to go get the dog too. I reference going to get the dog a lot because when we go out there to go get him, it is pitch black outside. And we live on 40 acres, so it is dark. No neighbors, nothing. So really awesome to have a lantern. This guy right here is another item. I know we bought it from Menards. I cannot find it on their website. They still sell Guidesman flashlights, but I cannot find any information on it, just so you know. So I cannot tell you how many lumens it is. I can't tell you how much it costs. I can just tell you that it is a Guidesman. I do remember it being a little bit more expensive than what I was wanting to pay, but to be honest, everything is more expensive than what I want to pay. So what difference does it make? But this is a really good flashlight. It is heavy on both ends. It could even possibly be a weapon against like a bobcat. Okay, it's heavy. But the on switch is on the bottom. And so that's your spotlight. And then, hold on. Yeah, floodlight. So that's pretty bright. Yeah, it's a good flashlight. This one I haven't, sorry if I keep hitting the mic. This one haven't really used a whole lot of. I prefer the lanterns. So that's usually what I go with. What else? I have a couple of these. So this is an Energizer. That's the brand that makes these. You can get these at any grocery store. You can get them at Walmart. You can get these almost anywhere you go. Gas stations. They're very common. These, I think I did order off Amazon, but I couldn't find them in my order history. So I have no idea how much they cost. I know that when I purchased them, it was like $12 for the pair. And I do think that the prices have gone up on them, but they're very convenient to have. You know, if a situation happens and say it was a tornado, there is no electricity, and for whatever reason, you have to go outside for something, maybe to assess the damage or to go see if neighbors need help. This right here is pretty convenient. Just, I used to think that it was dumb, but that's awfully convenient. You have your light and you're completely hands free. And I think that would be, it's just more convenient. Again, with the bigger one that my husband has, it's awesome to be able to throw it on your head, go outside, you're completely hands free. That's something that I don't think that we think about. Really, we don't consider those things. So I have two of these for no other reason other than it came as a 2-pack. But I have to say that of everything, of all the light options that I have, this one's probably my favorite. I really like that you don't have to use your hands. You just pop it on your head and you move on with life. I'll do that one last. These right here are Sweet Fire Strikeable Fire Starters, and they're actually made from sugarcane. I'm pretty sure that they're made in China. Oh no, I'm sorry, made in India. And the only reason why it matters at all is because when I looked this up to just read about instructions, it's all in a foreign language. And so I guess you would want to watch YouTube videos to understand how to use these properly. I read quite a few comments from people that purchased this, getting tiny sticks, lighting them, jamming them into the sticks, and then putting more Kindle on top. That's what it is. Kinder. I'm still learning. Okay. But these are pretty beefy. They're not just regular matches. So they're just super wide. And the striker on them is on the side right here. So you don't have to have any extra equipment with you. You just boop, and you light it on fire. It burns for 7 minutes. It's infused with vegetable oil, which is why it stays lit for 7 minutes. But this is pretty sweet. I'm sure that me and my husband should probably experiment with them to get a full grasp. And that's another thing too, is there's always room for improvement. And mine would be actually practicing and using the stuff that I have. Because I have quite a bit of stuff. I don't have nearly as much as what other people do, but I've got some stuff. And I've literally used none of it. I have a giant crossbow in my bedroom. Never used it. I need to get on that. This is stormproof matches. And the reason why I have these in my bag is because initially I was going to have, and I'll probably need to grab it to show you, but let me just grab it. Okay. These guys right. Ooh, nope. Okay. So this is one of the first things that I actually purchased for my blackout bag. And okay, I know it's going to be backwards. You guys, I am technologically challenged. And when I say that, I do not say that lightly. Okay. I am technologically challenged. I'm hoping that my husband can flip it so that you can read all the stuff I've been jamming into the camera. But this is 115 hours plus of candle. And the one thing that I would say about this really is to be mindful about its shipping. I purchased 2 of them at 2 separate times, and the first one came in totally fine, but the second one came in with product all over the place. It had leaked. And so once I got that second one in, I was really, really leery about putting it into the blackout bag until I could find a way to make it secure enough to where it doesn't leak all over the inside of the bag. And I really don't want to just stick it in a Ziploc bag and throw it in there. But it does have a website listed on it. It's www.mycandlelife.com. And right now, so they're usually $20 a piece, $19.99. Right now, today, which is September 28th, 2022, they are $14.99. So a little bit of a discount there for you. But anyways, that's why I purchased the actual matches themselves, was because I intended to have this in my blackout bag. One of the things that you'll need to keep in mind is if you live in a place that has different seasons, you want to make sure that your bag is equipped for all seasons and not just one. Unless you are someone that is super organized, super responsible, and you can make it to where at the beginning of every season you change up what you have inside your blackout bag. I am not that person. I want to throw it in the bag, know that it's in there, and walk away. Checking on it once in a while. You want to make sure that your stuff isn't going bad. You want to make sure things are charged. If you have batteries in the bag, you want to make sure the batteries are still good. So you don't want to just like throw everything in there and then walk away. You want to be responsible for the equipment that you're purchasing, because you want it to work when you need it. It's going to suck when you lose electricity and you're like, oh yeah, I have that bag. And you run upstairs and you check the first closet. And you remember, oh yeah, I didn't put it in there. I put it in this closet. And then nothing in there works because it's been 2 years and nothing has a charge. So, but anyway, I say that because I don't want to hassle with it. I want to put stuff in there and I want to be able to just walk away, move on with my life. So having said that, I hate the heat. Okay. So if we ever lose electricity in the summertime and I lose my AC, it's going to be a real bad day for everyone. I cannot stand being hot. But anyway, I bought this. This uses a 9-volt battery that I actually do not have. And I need to get some tomorrow. But it's a Treva, and I purchased this from Bass Pro. And so it comes like this, and you just bloop. It stands up on its own. I thought it was pretty nifty. I thought I was a genius when I realized I could put this in my blackout bag. She's doing stuff now. This last one, I'm going to have to go look for my other thing. Okay, so this last one is more for entertainment. Because when stuff like that happens, it gets everybody like excited. And now nobody can go back asleep. And now everybody wants to know what's going on. And you want to keep people busy. If there's kids in the house, teenagers, you want to keep them busy. Because you're probably trying to figure things out and they're going to be like, Mom. So this was something that I found that I thought was really cool. But you could always get like a deck of cards. If you have one of these with you, you'll be able to play and see it. But I know that they have glow in the dark decks of cards. But anyways, I bought this, and it is a glow in the dark tic-tac-toe that I bought off of Amazon. And I'm trying to see how much it cost. $8.95 is what it is currently on Amazon for. And it's been in the bag for a long time. And it still has a charge. It's glowing. So if the lights went out tomorrow, of course I wouldn't pull this out because I don't need to. But, if whatever. Anyway, it has a charge. You can see it. In a blackout, you'd be able to easily see these bad boys. So it could just be like a fun entertainment thing. Keep the kids busy, teenagers busy, you and your husband, what have you. So anyways, think about the entertainment portion of it as well. What can you do to keep people entertained? What can you do to keep people away from you so that you can figure out what's going on? How to manage the entire situation. So that would really come in handy. So there's one last thing. That I need to go and get. I forgot to bring it out here with me. It doesn't go into the blackout bag. Obviously, it's too big. But because I was talking about this bag, and if the power goes out, yada, 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 it would be a good time to bring this in. And it's a power source, and it's the most expensive piece for this category that I own, but I wouldn't change it for the world. And I would so strongly suggest that you would budget for it, save for it, because it has saved us a number of times. So give me 2 seconds. I'm going to go grab it. I'll be right back. This guy right here. So I didn't write any notes down, but anyway, this is from the brand Cat. My dad actually used to work for Cat. He was one of their mechanics for a long time. And so I grew up with this company being all over the inside of our house. But anyway, this is a power station. And this power station can give you the power that you need in the event that the battery in your vehicle goes out. And it is powerful. Okay. I drive a Toyota Tundra TRD Pro with a V8 engine. And there have been 2 occasions where something's happened and we've had to use this to get power back, and it's worked every time. So that in itself is enough for me to really push this and suggest that this is something that you get, because it would be very, very helpful to you, especially if you live alone or if you live far out, live in a place where you don't have a lot of friends, don't really have anybody you can call. I don't have a dad or a mom or family or anybody that that's taking it a little bit too far. I have a husband that I can call now, but for a very long time I did not have that. But I do have my best friend who I know I could call at any time. So I do have people that I could call in those situations. But not every situation are you able to call someone. So the more that you can take care of yourself and not rely on someone else, the better off things will be. Okay, you're not having to wait for someone to show up. You're not having to hope that someone sees your text message. So anyhow, I'm going to scoot this up here. Super simple. You do want to make sure from time to time that it has a charge on it, because it's going to be 100% useless to you if you don't make sure that it has a charge on it. And I know it's inconvenient. You don't want to have to do it. You don't have enough time, but we just need to grow up and get it done. Just make sure that it's been charged itself. There's also a tire compressor right here. So if you wake up and you need to top off your tire, boom, right here. There's been many times where I wish I had something like this, because I can't tell you how many times my tire was super duper low or like on the verge of being flat, and I lived like 15 or 20 minutes away from the nearest gas station and even further away from mechanics. So this right here is almost worth purchasing this altogether, the tire compressor. It does also have an outlet, so you can plug in whatever you need to here, but then it also has USB ports right here, and you can plug in multiple different devices. You can plug in everybody's phone, you can plug in tablets, whatever can charge off of a USB port, you can plug it in. It also has an LED light. So it's nifty. It's worth having. I know that you can purchase it. You can purchase it off of Walmart.com. That is where I purchased mine. And when I purchased mine, it was like $129 before taxes for when I purchased it. I don't know how much it is now. I would have to look it up. But anyway, I'm sure that my husband can help me figure out how to link it below so that you don't have to go and try and find it. It's just right there for you. Wouldn't that be great? And that's it. It's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. As you can tell, there's nothing crazy in this bag. There are many different options. You know, not everything is going to work for everyone. Perhaps all you need are your emergency candles, some matches, and just to know that you have it in a kitchen drawer. Maybe that's good enough for you. You know, maybe you're in an apartment complex and you don't need anything wild. You know, you live in the city and you have everything right there within walking distance. But there are some of you that are like me, that your closest Walmart is 35 minutes away. All right. And Walmart isn't coming to fill up your tire. Walmart isn't coming to you to help, you know, get your battery back in gear on your vehicle. So this is just my encouragement to you to make your life a little bit easier. And we're seeing right now with Hurricane Ian, all these people that are being displaced, and you know, some people are prepared for it and some people are not. And more than likely, most people are not prepared for this. And I'm not a doom and gloom kind of person, but I do believe in making sure that you are set up for success. It doesn't have to be an obsessive compulsive type thing. Just make sure, hey, if you're going to use candles, you have enough candles on hand and you have matches and you know where they are, and the people that live in your home know where they are. I had this or something similar to it before I got married. And I think that's important too. Ladies, we have to be able to take care of ourselves. And there are some things that we don't think about that normally our dads would think about. and I don't have one of those. So I had to find this on my own and want to do it on my own. And so here we are. But if you have any suggestions, if there's something else that you're just like, how do you not have that in your blackout bag? Let me know. If you have insight experience to what's practical in a blackout bag, let us know too. This is, I don't know. I'm going to continue making videos. I just have to find my way of making the videos that I'm most comfortable with. But I want to do all kinds of things. So it'll be more lifestyle. But I just, for a long time, it's been on my heart to be able to work side by side with people that are in similar situations as me, as far as like not having family around to help you with things. And I know that that might sound like so random and like childish, but you don't realize how important it is to have family around until you have no family around, until you're trying to figure everything out on your own, you know? And it's the simple stuff too. Tips and tricks for making chocolate chip cookies, you know, family recipes. So I wanted to do this video because I want you to be more prepared than what you were yesterday. I want you to be successful, and I want you to be comfortable, and I want you to be able to bless someone if you're all set up and you don't need anything because you've prepared, that you're able to extend that kindness to somebody else who maybe wasn't fortunate enough to be able to prepare, didn't think to prepare, didn't have anybody encouraging them to make sure that they have what they need. But there's a lot happening in the world right now. None of us are surprised by any of this, or at least we shouldn't be. But I think a lot of us just need that boost of encouragement, need that guidance. And I'm learning. So I want to share what I'm learning with you and be purposeful in what I'm doing and be a blessing. So I hope you found some kind of inspiration from this video. I hope that the quality of it turns out decent. Yesterday was a nightmare trying to get this video up. And then when I finally did, and my husband was like, "You didn't actually tell them anything." I was like, so anyway, I'm going to leave this video here and I'm going to go take care of some chores and hang out. So I hope that you have a good night. Thank you for joining me here. And I hope to see you again soon. Again, if you have any advice, insight, suggestions, words of wisdom, drop them down in the comments below. Thanks. Bye.